peace. To all who have arrived here, seeking light and guidance in this moment, I welcome you, not as a stranger, but as a friend walking the same road, though perhaps in different sandals. Let me ask you something, dear elder. Have you noticed your body changing lately? When you rise in the morning, does the bed feel heavier and the floor more distant? Does the mirror reflect a version of yourself who seems smaller somehow? Not just in size, but in strength, in presence? You are not alone in this, and you are not fading. You are transforming. But transformation, like fire, can warm or burn, depending on how it is honored. Today, I want to share with you something that monasteries and ancient traditions have known for centuries. Your body, even in its later years, can be strong. Your muscles are not meant to vanish, but without a sacred food, they will silently slip away. Now, before you assume I'm talking about a pill or powder, let me tell you a story. In the quiet hills of our monastery, I once watched a 78-year-old monk carry buckets of water uphill, twice daily, for years. No groan, no hesitation. His robes may have fluttered like dry leaves, but his legs? They held him like tree trunks. One evening, I asked him the question I know is on your mind. Master, how do you keep your strength when the world expects you to weaken? He smiled, sat beside me, and placed a single bowl of lentils before me. This, he said, is the food that remembers. I laughed then, not fully understanding. But over the years, his words echoed every time I prepared my meal. The food that remembers. Remembers what? It remembers your body's needs. It remembers the strength that built your home, raised your children, and held your partner's hand through storms. And that food, my friend, is protein. Yes, simple, sacred. Protein. Not the protein injected with chemicals or fried until it forgets its name, but the humble, mindful protein, lentils, beans, quinoa, tofu, seeds, peas, even eggs for some of us, and simple cottage cheese. Let me say this with love. If you are over 60, your muscles are not just sleeping, they are starving. Starving for this food that the body once had in abundance. And without it, your body quietly uses your muscles for energy, leaving you lighter, yes, but also weaker and more prone to falls, to fragility, to fear. You see, strength is not vanity. Strength is dignity. It's your ability to rise from your chair without help, to walk across the room with steadiness, to hug someone with your full embrace. But let me be clear, this is not just about food. As we continue this journey, I will show you how breath, intention, stillness, and strength form a sacred union. One cannot flourish without the other. So in this hour we spend together, I ask only this. Sit with me. Breathe. Reflect. Not just on what you eat, but on what you allow into your body, into your thoughts, and into your soul. Let's explore not just the nourishment of protein, but the nourishment of purpose. For you are not here merely to survive these years. You are here to thrive in them, to teach, to guide, to walk a little slower, but with deeper awareness. It is not over. It is just beginning. Your life, your joy, your soul's most honest unfolding. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for being brave enough to feel. May your journey be blessed with clarity, compassion, and deep inner peace. You are seen. You are held. You are free. Until we meet again, walk gently. Namaste. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to reflect in the comments. What did you finally let go of today? Save this video and return to it whenever you need grounding. Subscribe and tap the bell icon for weekly wisdom and meditative guidance. Remember, the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more calm hearts like yours. Let your healing be a ripple of peace. As I share more about the sacred food of strength, I will also share the inner food, stories, meditations, and lessons from a life devoted to stillness. Let us begin with the first step toward reclaiming your strength, honoring the temple that carries your spirit. Take one deep breath now. Feel it move through you, like a breeze through bamboo. You are alive, and that is a miracle. So let's treat it that way. You're still here. That means your heart is open, ready to receive. That is the most important step in any transformation, the willingness to listen, not just to me, but to the gentle voice inside you that whispers, "There's more to life still waiting." We spoke earlier of protein, the sacred food that remembers. But now I must tell you the truth. Even the right food will not serve a distracted soul. You see, nourishment begins long before the first bite. It begins in your awareness, in your presence. Let me ask, how often do you sit with your food in silence? How often do you chew slowly enough to feel gratitude? Rising between each bite? Not for flavor alone, but for life itself? In the monastery, we never eat while talking. No music, no chatter, no rush. Just the sound of the breath and the food meeting the body. This is what I call mindful nourishment, and it is the second key to reclaiming your strength. Let me share another story. There was a monk, elder even to me, who had lost much of his strength after falling ill. We feared he would not recover, but every morning he would sit before his bowl of mung beans and rice as if before a sacred altar. He chewed each bite slowly, 40 times no less, and whispered thank you between each swallow. Over weeks, something changed. He began walking again, slowly, then without his cane. His eyes grew brighter, his back straightened, and one day he said to me, "I did not eat for healing. I honored the healing, and the body responded." There is wisdom in this that no medicine can replicate. So let me tell you plainly, dear listener, if you eat in haste, you age in haste. If you chew with anger or distraction, the food becomes a burden, not a blessing. But if you eat with presence, now you are feeding more than your body. You are feeding your spirit. Let us pause. Right now, I invite you, truly, to breathe deeply. Place your hands on your belly. Feel your body rise with each inhale. This is where your strength begins, not in the muscle, but in the breath that gives it life. Now, let's speak of movement. Perhaps you believe movement is no longer your path, that the days of bending, lifting, walking are behind you. But I must disagree, with love. Stillness is beautiful, but even the still mountain allows the wind to shape its peaks. Movement, even gentle movement, is a devotion. Each morning in the monastery, before sunrise, we stretch in silence, not as exercise, but as prayer. We raise our arms not to build muscle, but to honor the divine gift of limbs. We bend not for flexibility, but to remind the body it is still alive. You too can begin again. Walk a little each day. Stand with your back tall. Reach to the sky with your arms and say, I am still here. Let that be your daily vow. And now we come to the third truth. What you speak becomes what you feel. If you tell yourself, I'm too old to change, then the body, loyal as it is, will listen and begin to shrink to match your belief. But if you whisper instead, I grow stronger each day in small but powerful ways, then the muscles listen. The mind awakens, the body responds. Let me share a final story before we turn the page. There was a visitor to our temple. Once, an elderly woman, 84 years of age. She came walking slowly, with a cane and a face lined by many years of hardship. She stayed with us for 1 week. On the last morning, I saw her standing by the garden, her cane lying forgotten in the grass. She was tending to a plant, humming softly. Her hands were dirty, her eyes bright. When I asked her how she felt, she simply said, "Alive. For the first time in years, I feel alive. And so will you." The path to strength is not paved with heavy weights or punishing diets. It is paved with sacred food, mindful movement, grateful thought, and quiet breath. These are the pillars I offer you, not as commandments, but as invitations. Your body remembers. Your spirit remembers. Now let your actions remember too. You are not here to disappear slowly. You are here to shine gently, to teach with your stillness, to bless this world with the wisdom only time can give. Let us walk further, together. Next, we'll speak of the inner voice, how your thoughts shape your reality, and how to invite peace where there is pain. But for now, just breathe, smile. You are already beginning. You've walked with me a long way today, and for that, I bow to you, not in ritual, but in reverence. Because staying present for this long, truly listening, truly feeling, is rare in this world. It is a sign that you are ready to not just live these years, but to rise through them. We began with a concern, the quiet fading of muscle, the slipping of strength. But we've uncovered something much deeper, haven't we? You see, the disappearing muscles were only the symptom. The true loss was not of strength, but of presence, of connection to body, breath, and belief. So now, let us tie everything together, not as separate lessons, but as one sacred truth. Your body is the temple, your breath is the prayer, your food is the offering, and your thoughts? They are the sacred songs that echo through it all. Let me ask gently, what are the songs you've been singing to yourself lately? I'm too tired, too old, too broken. Or have you started to whisper new ones? I'm returning. I'm learning. I'm still a vessel of light. You see, the soul never ages. It is only the story that we let grow heavy. And so, I ask you, just as I've asked the young monks in training and the old monks in reflection, what story will you choose now? Will you choose to tell the story of fading or the story of becoming? Because even now, in this moment, you are becoming something more aware, more connected, more alive. And here is what I know to be true, from a lifetime in silence and stillness, and from the many wise ones I've sat beside. There is no age when your spirit becomes less useful. There is no expiration date for wisdom, for kindness, for strength. Some of the most powerful changes I've ever seen in people did not happen at 20, or 30, or 50. They happened at 70, 80, even 90. Because they finally stopped trying to prove something, and instead, they started living with intention. If you do only 3 things after this conversation, let it be these. Feed your body sacredly, not just with protein, but with presence. A handful of lentils eaten with love is more powerful than a feast swallowed in rush. Move your body gently, stretch in the morning, walk with awareness, raise your arms like they're reaching for the you, divine. Even 5 minutes a day is a blessing. Speak to yourself kindly. Replace "I'm getting old" with "I'm awakening to new wisdom." Replace "I'm tired" with "I'm grateful for this moment to rest." Speak blessings into your bones. Your cells are always listening, and if I may offer one last piece of humble wisdom, don't wait to feel better before you start living better. Start living better, and the feeling will follow. So, dear friend, perhaps your muscles have softened. Perhaps your step is slower. But your spirit? It is not a flicker. It is a flame. And now you hold a match to light the way, not just for yourself, but for others who will follow in your steps. Children, grandchildren, strangers. You will lead with your stillness. Your strength will speak quietly, but powerfully. I honor you for showing up, not just for this message, but for yourself, for your healing, for your next chapter. Closing prayer. May your meals be mindful. May your movements be sacred. May your thoughts be kind. And may your years ahead be filled not with fear, but with peace. If this message has touched your heart, subscribe to join this journey of healing and awakening. Share your reflection in the comments. What one thing will you begin doing today to honor your body and soul? And remember to turn on the bell so you never miss a message meant just for you. From this sacred space to yours, may you walk gently, may you grow strong, and may you always remember, you are not fading, you are becoming.